Welcome to the Investor Financing Podcast, where we interview real estate investors and lenders so you can learn all the secrets to getting your projects funded and scale your portfolio. Learn about fix and flip loans, BRRRR financing, rental, fix to rent, commercial, multifamily bridge loans, business loans, and so much more. And now, your host, Beau Eckstein.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Investor Financing Podcast. And I'm your host, Beau Eckstein. And today we're going to talk about how to invest in multifamily properties. Okay, so this is going to be geared just as an overview of your options out there. And probably this is more of a newbie kind of conversation, but feel free to stay tuned for the entire episode because it will have some content for everybody in it. And let's get kind of started. So often as I run my real estate investor group, and we have local meetups, and now we're doing them online because of COVID, we get a lot of newer investors into the meetup groups, and they want to get started, they want to get going, they want to buy properties, and oftentimes they have limited resource or just not the knowledge how to execute and purchase property. So I always start back and say, well, maybe what you could do is a house hack for your first investment. And that means, if you're not familiar with house hacking, it means live in maybe one bedroom and rent the other rooms out. But I'm talking about house hacking either a duplex, triplex, or fourplex. You can get FHA financing to cover 97.5% of the purchase price, right? So you're completely leveraging it. You can live in one of the units, and you can rent the other 3 units out if it's a fourplex. And you can get 97.5% financing in rates in the low threes right now, somewhere around there, right? So the financing is unbelievable right now. So all you have to do is come up with 3.5% down plus closing costs. And sometimes you can get a seller credit for closing costs. Sometimes you can, on an FHA, it has to be owner occupied for residential. So you have to be living in one of the units.
You're listening to the Investor Financing Podcast. We'll be right back after this break. Are you looking for funding? Are you getting frustrated trying to find a lender? Visit investorfinancingpodcast.com and click the Get Funding button. Complete the simple form and schedule a free phone consultation with one of our placement specialists. We have a proprietary directory of funding partners that can help you get the funding you need. It's fast and easy to explore the options available for your specific needs. Don't wait. Visit investorfinancingpodcast.com and get connected.
Or depending on what county you're in, but let's just say you can buy a fourplex in your area. It fits the loan limits for FHA. You're qualified for FHA. You go and get pre-approved with your FHA mortgage or your residential mortgage broker. They get you approved for an FHA property. You're now able to go buy a property, right? And simply you're going to find out what your total payment is on the property, right? And then from there, let's say it's a fourplex, on the other 3 units, what are the gross rents that are going to come in? What are any of the other expenses for operating the property, right? So then you can live for free essentially by doing this correctly. And so we had interviewed Diego, who was doing room shares when he got started. But if you can just maybe you don't want to do a room share, but if you're a new investor, maybe buying a duplex or triplex or fourplex with FHA financing is the way to go to start your investment. Now, I believe in the documents that you have to live there at least for 1 year, but you could then move out. Potentially, if that property went up in value, you could refinance it. You can then go buy another duplex, triplex, or fourplex. Do the same thing. In 5-6 years from now you have 4 or 5 3 or 4 unit properties, right? So it's an easy way to scale your initial. First of all, you need a place to live, and wouldn't it be nice if you lived there and got paid to live there, or live there for free, or cash flowed $1,000 a month? So really, you got to build a plan. Maybe that's your starting point, okay? Or maybe it's not realistic in your area that you can owner occupy a small multifamily property like that. But I wanted to give you a couple tools that might be of benefit if you can do some kind of house hack to get started, because getting started is half the battle. And over time, you pay down the loan, you pay down your mortgage. At the same time, over years to come, you're going to get appreciation. Now, some years are better than others. Some years have declines in appreciation. Okay, we've been in an uptick for the last several years, and quite honestly, I don't think we're going to maintain that. So just buy for the long term. Make sure that if you rent the other 3 units out, you're more than covering your rent or your mortgage, and you're even cash flowing. And this is a owner occupied investment, but you're able to live there for a year. And then in a year or 2 years down the road, go buy another property, and you can just start there. I've watched a friend of mine do this, and he started by using FHA, living in the multifamily property, 2 to 4 unit property, refinancing, moving into another one, doing it like 3 or 4 different times, right? You don't need to buy that many properties like this to create a massive amount of cash flow. Not to mention, maybe you have a 3 or 4 unit and one of the units you use as an Airbnb. Maybe you can supercharge your cash flow. There's all these things you can do to think outside the box. Obviously, you got to occupy these properties because you're certifying that you're going to be living in this property on an FHA loan. So just be aware, follow the rules, but work these techniques to create wealth for yourself. Looking back, when I bought my first house on a lease option because I couldn't qualify for financing in my early 20s, and that created a big chunk of wealth for me right there by being creative with the financing, and then closing on the refinance a year later when I exercised my option to purchase a property, created $60,000 of equity. So getting started looking at house hacking would be a really good option for you. You can also look at finding a partner, finding deals, small multifamily properties, and finding GAV partners. I went out of state to buy some inexpensive duplexes and fourplexes. Worked out well for me. Great cash flow. But I do think that if you're getting started and you just want some direction, look at house hacking. Maybe look at even a duplex. Look at maybe the possibilities of Airbnb. There's all these tools and technologies out there. There's all this training for you that you just got to get started. But FHA, with historically low rates right now, if you can find something that makes sense, pencil it out. What are your all-in costs? Principal, interest, taxes, insurance, mortgage insurance. What are going to be your yearly expenses that you have to cover on the property? What's your gross rent going to be? Are you going to be managing the property yourself on the other units? Factor all those costs, factor in a vacancy factor, and then you can kind of paint a picture for yourself. Does house hacking make sense for my first acquisition of a small multifamily property, leveraging FHA? Thanks for watching. See you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to the Investor Financing Podcast. For show notes and useful resources, please visit investorfinancingpodcast.com. For questions or comments, email info@investorfinancingpodcast.com. If you enjoy our show, please share it with your network. Until next time.